Cool. Excellent connection and everything. Awesome. Still have a half an hour in the day to go. So kind of last minute, only got 30 minutes here before market closes. But I just want to kind of go over some of the things. I put this together a couple days ago, and stuff I've realized through what I don't know, some conversations, some comments, different posts and everything. But I want to go through those real quick, and then we'll make some trades. I haven't made any trades or anything for the day, and we missed last Saturday. And nobody's home from school yet, using up all the bandwidth in the neighborhood playing video games. So first, like, huge thank you to these people. Steven Banks, like #1 OG day one, huge supporter, comments and like watches on every single video since the beginning. Most likely, if you watch this, it's because of Steven. It's probably his fault. So thank you, Steven. Love you, man. Last live stream, Raul. Thank you for those spy plays last weekend, or I guess the weekend before last, because last weekend didn't work. And that kind of dialed in for me, keeping it simple. Repeat some plays, and just have a plan. Like, he was able to say what his plan is, like super straightforward, and like, hey, I'm going to sell these put credit spreads. I'm going to do it $8 out of the money and repeat. And Debbie emailed me. She plays super safe. She doesn't have much time to play, and she doesn't have much time to play it, but plays it like super safe. And her username is like stress reduction, and that was actually pretty big for me. She plays like super far out of the money. Doesn't try to gain a lot, maybe a couple percent every couple weeks or something like that, but like that ends up to be big money over the long term, and not to have any stress with it's pretty awesome. Shaquille posted this in the Discord. Just showed all of his put credit spreads. He was asking, is this risky? And no, I was like, this is actually beautiful, super clean, same strike prices. Obviously all these things worked out for him. What does he have? Some expiring next week and the week after. Like, just beautiful. Everything's beautiful except for probably the AMD calls there. But just the fact it was super simple, his account isn't polluted with a bunch of crap. Like, kind of like how mine is. And Edward, I don't know how to say that. Edward Janin, he kind of repeated basically something back to me that I have said several times. Like, I'm internalizing what I heard you say in a few videos, and just switching to companies that I know will grow over time, so that if I have to roll out, I know eventually, barring the apocalypse, they will be profitable. And I know that's something that I've said, and that's the reason I play Tesla for the most part, and that's what I want to kind of get back to. It's kind of fun playing a lot of the other plays, but I don't necessarily need to. I don't need to. It just causes like more stress, and I don't feel like I need to know like 1,000 companies in order to play profitably. Like, obviously I've been profitable, but just looking back on things, it's kind of the silly YOLOs and all that stuff that has kept me either unprofitable in some situations, not unprofitable, but less profitable. And I want to make some changes. So these are some of my current issues, I think, that I'm having, and kind of why I want to make some changes right here. So I actually am getting pretty bored, with the whole thing. It does at some point seem like it's just free money. I feel like at this point I've learned most of it. I know there's a ton more to go and a ton more to learn, but I don't think I need to learn all of it in order to continue to be successful and keep growing my account. I mean, I've learned enough about Tesla alone to where I could probably just stick all my money in shares, walk away, and come back in 5 years and be super happy with it. I'm definitely wasting money. on some of those YOLO plays and things and the downside, you'll see those every couple of weeks or so where I'm like, well, this is probably just a garbage play, but kind of a YOLO. And my downside of it is losing all of maybe, $100, $200, which relative to the account side isn't huge, but $200 or $100, that's a lot of money. I mean, that's more than people make in a day sometimes. And I could definitely be doing way better with that overall. Even if that stuff accumulates and then I'm able to open up more positions where I want them. I don't have a trading plan. I don't have anything written. And that's something I want to get to. So my plan right now is basically I put money in an account, started doing this, and just wanting to make money, which it's a goal, I guess, or like a direction, but not exactly a plan. I have not traded through a bad market, so comparing myself to a seasoned investor, somebody who is, I'm getting, maybe I'll have like a little bit of salt on me at this point, trading like for a couple years, but it's not like I've traded 18 years through. I did trade through a pandemic, which ended up being pretty good, but compared to guys who've traded 18 years through .com bubbles and all that stuff. And listening to too many cliches, I think, is another issue that I have. And some of those just examples that I think of is like, you must be diversified. Don't put your eggs all in one basket. And I don't necessarily think that's true. I think there's been a ton of successful people that all in on a company like Amazon early. I mean, people way more successful than me that all in on Tesla way early. There's several examples of that, and the last one is there's old investors, bold investors, but never old, bold investors. And I don't necessarily think that's true. Some of these things, just because somebody who is successful says, like it came out of Warren Buffett's mouth, or somebody else who's successful, they say something and then we really hang on it, and not to really question what that really means to me is not like, that doesn't sit well for me. It's like, all the religions across the world. There's a ton of different religions, and people follow a lot of that stuff blindly. But just because somebody says it, or a lot of people say it, I don't think that's not a good reason to do something in my mind. And I want to do what I'm comfortable with, and what after my limited experience, but my experience, and what makes sense to me, I want to move in that direction. One of my other problems is trading with a house money disposition. So I started my public account, my Robinhood one, with $500. I've taken out $55,000. So, I mean, even if I lost every penny in that account, which I think is why I'm sometimes a little reckless with some of the YOLOs and stuff, I don't think that is... Or I think that's a disadvantage to me, because right now I could lose the 200,000. I'm still at 55 that I took out. Yay, still fantastic. I'd probably get eaten up by the taxes that I have to pay, but I think there's some of that mentality that I have in myself that doesn't help things. Like, I can lose a few $1,000s in a day, and it doesn't really matter to me all that much. Part of it is, okay, we're riding out some bumps, but when I do make some of the random, hey, I'll just like buy these random calls or puts or something like that, I don't think that's great. So these are all things that I want to work on or curb, and yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to write it out and put it out there. Not only, just being honest with you guys, and I think like once I say it, put it out there, it kind of helps me focus on a little bit, and I'm being less helpful or educational than I could be. I don't think a lot of those YOLOs helps anybody. It's not helping me, not helping you guys. It's not, and then even if one just totally hits, then what do we learn out of that? Like, we spend $500 and we make 10,000 or something like that. Great. It's a YOLO. Like, it's almost like a, like, oh, here, like a shiny object, right? Or a brand name, something like, here, look what I did, yay. But it's not really helpful or sustainable, or there's nothing great about the long run in that. So just a few of the goals that I have here. I want to reduce the number of holdings in my Robinhood, just because there's a lot of them, and there's no reason to have so many, especially the random ones. I want to be able to explain why I hold every single position. So this is something I probably did a year ago, where I had a lot of positions, and I sold off a ton of them, because it was like, if I ask myself, why do I own that company, and I can't explain it, like why I like this or why I want to hold it, it doesn't make sense to me to hold it. Some of the companies that I have bought, I bought during the huge pandemic dip. Those things in my mind make a little bit of sense. Like, they make sense between where they were and now, but now that most things have recovered going forward, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And we have a couple examples of those, like Hawaiian Airlines. I bought those when they were cheap, Gap and stuff like that. I'll definitely get to your guys' questions in the chat. I just want to kind of get through this, and then hopefully we'll answer some questions, and then I'll start putting into effect here some of the stuff I'm saying. No YOLOs. I don't need that. They're just not helpful. And also, like, those YOLOs relative to the account. If I make $5,000, I mean, I can make or lose $5,000 in any given day. It doesn't make sense to me. And then trading in general, some of my goals, I am interested in putting more effort into day trading, technical analysis, which I do not do other than just price action, and doing some analysis prior to the trades. So just kind of like risk reward stuff. Like some of the butterflies that I've put on, I know that they're profitable at a certain level, but I don't necessarily really calculate that in, like maximum upside being probably like 30%, and whether or not that's a good one to do. So here's my quick action plan of what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell covered calls on every underlying I don't want to own, which I have at least 100 shares. So Hawaiian Airlines is a good example of that. So I'll sell them probably pretty close to the money. So when they go, except for the few companies that I do want to hold. I'll put in closing orders for everything I have less than 100 shares in, probably at profit for most of those, and then close the remaining positions that do not meet my criteria by the end of the month. So we'll just get rid of them, and then by whatever November, I should have a simplified portfolio, at least in the Robinhood one, and then calculate. And then after that's done, I want to calculate the expected value of selling the put credit spreads with the collateral that I am using, and plan the purchases of the underlyings accordingly. And what I mean by that is, right now I have the set daily purchases. I buy Tesla every day. I buy Palantir every day. I buy some Qs, some SPYs, and maybe there's and a little bit of crypto every day. So I want to figure out what exactly I expect to make, and then I'll adjust those purchases accordingly. So like right now I spend like $80, maybe $100 a day buying those. But if that doesn't make sense relative to the money I'm making, I don't want to start using margin to purchase underlyings instead of using them for put credit spreads, because that's really where the income and the growth of my account is coming from. And then just make an account goal relative to the calculated expected value of the trades. So I've been asked what my goal is several times. I couldn't tell you. It's just basically like making money. And so once I'm able to calculate it, and I can figure out what my price prediction is for Tesla specifically, and what I expect to gain on my put credit spreads, and come up with a goal there. And maybe not necessarily a goal, but a target, because there's not a whole lot I can do to affect I can't control, I can't work harder to make more money. The market's kind of going to give me what it's going to give me, but just a point where I think I'm going to be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year down the road. So, and I think that is it for that. It is. So, okay. Just hiccuped a little bit. Oh, by the way, we're down $800 today. And then I'm going to start I'm gonna go ahead and start doing some of that stuff. And part of the other thing is like when I'm doing the videos, I definitely like lose money by waiting on not making moves until I start recording the videos when I do them live sometimes. So simplifying it will help that out a lot, especially some of the more volatile plays. But first time in the live, welcome Sweaty Palms. Can I fix the Discord link? I can have Shandi do it. I'll have my VA make sure that's all working. Oh man, what happened? Am I really down that much? Yeah, who knows? That's why I get a lot of stress reduction from trading the indexes. Yeah, that's smart. Knowing I can always roll and eventually be profitable. Yeah, even like when I talk to you, yeah, you seem very like methodical and like, hey, this is kind of what I'm going to do, ABC, and I love that. And I don't do it. I mean, obviously some of it is paid off for me, but it's not always going to. And I pretty much listen to the market with every spare minute that I have. I don't necessarily need to do that. I like listening to music a lot of the times. Let's see if this helps. Cut off that. Looks like my stream is struggling, but hopefully turning off everything, but the stream helps. Oh, let's move this guy too. See if this helps. All right. Hey everyone, what's up? Am I going to exercise all the Palantir leaps eventually? I will exercise 6 of them for sure. The $30 call the $30 one, I don't know that I'll exercise that. Are we getting? Yeah, I don't know. Stream looks like a little unhealthy. Gosh dang it, poor. So hopefully, I'm actually should be getting my new gateway thing. I think today or tomorrow. So I know it was sent out according to T-Mobile. Is this just completely dead? Okay. Oops. God, everything is so damn choppy, man. Hate it. Anyways, I don't think this is this even updating now? Let me make sure. Okay. If I can update Robinhood. Oh, we only have 10 minutes until market closes, which really sucks. Looks like SPY is dipping. Oh, everything's fallen off. Dang. Come on. What do you think about selling some cash covered puts on NTLA for next week? I don't know what NTLA is. Actually really don't know what that is at all. Yeah, I decided to close to put close to half my account in actual stock instead of playing options. DraftKings is killing me again. DraftKings is killing me too. That's one of the positions I'm just going to stop out of. I've had that thing for a while, and part of that is realizing like the money that I've lost on DraftKings, like I could have done something good with it. And even though I think gambling is going to be huge, and one of the things that had me like drawn towards them in the beginning was, or not, when I opened it up, was the fact that they were putting so much money out there for marketing and advertising. I mean, they're all over the place. So it's like they're putting on like out all this expansion money, and I thought that would pay back at some point. But at the end of the day, it's not a company like I love, and I don't know where they're going. Like, I don't know, are they going to be worth $150 in the future? I don't know, but I do know what Tesla is going to be worth in the future. Like 2000, like it's a long ways away, but like 2030, That's a $4,000 stock. There's just not a question in my mind, and that's kind of the lower end of things, unless things massively change. So, am I still in Logan's Discord server? I pop in there from time to time. I don't have a whole lot of time for it, and actually, I really prefer this format where I'm able to just verbalize things, because a lot of things take a little bit more explanation than just typing out. So I do pop in there from time to time. I was in there yesterday when I just saw him pop up and just say, "Hey, Tesla's ripping." I was like, "Yeah, someone said Tesla." What do I think about Maz's spread plays? They're probably awesome. Maz is so technical. I think he plays correctly. I haven't paid attention to him for a long time. And that's part of, I think, evolving with all this, with the trading. At the beginning, you kind of almost need to emulate or copy somebody else's plays. And then eventually you get your own idea, you get your own feel, and there's no reason for it. There's no reason. You don't need like a consensus or a bunch of people to tell you this is correct to be able to make these plays. But from when I did pay more attention to it, and when I've spoke to him, most of that stuff does. I think they're probably very good. I'm sure he has a very high win rate, and then just account wise, I think he's done really well. Yeah, I'm done with them. I thought they were gonna get an exclusive with NFL deal, but I guess not. Yeah, with DraftKings. Yeah, I got to take a big loss on that. Oh, and just since it's like last minute for taxes, it's got me thinking. Next week, if you put an extension, something to think about. Those, if you have any losing things, one thing to think about is, even if it's a position that you want to keep long term, like if you have leaps but you're down on it, it's not a bad idea. Of course, talk to your CPA. I'm not a tax professional, but to close out and take a loss December 31st, and then you can open back up the play at the same exact position or a few dollars off January 1st. They keep playing the FanDuel commercials. I haven't seen commercials in years, man. I don't have cable. I like watch Netflix and YouTube, and I have the YouTube, whatever it is. What is it called? The premium. So I haven't seen commercials in forever, and it's not like you can go anywhere and watch stuff at a bar or anything anymore. So I've not seen it. Good Lord. This is just lagging so freaking terribly. Can I change any settings? Let me see if I can. No, I can't on there. Well, it looks like I'm not going to be able to make any of my plays. That sucks, dude. It actually really sucks. But anyways, this won't even populate with what I have right now, which is ridiculous. But basically, I'm probably going to get rid of Hawaiian Airlines, ROBINHOOD, and those two just by selling calls until they're gone. I'm going to close my DraftKings positions that I have leaps on. Gap, I think I'll close as well. I'm up on Gap quite a bit, so I might as well just take the profit there. Part of me buying that was, it was cheap during the pandemic lows, and with Kanye West involved in it, I thought that could be some decent upside to it. Actually, I guess I can grab my phone and just walk through everything here. Oh, and by the way, we did get filled on those SPY put credit spreads today, and those close to $1. Palantir, wait, that's not right. Your equity. What in the world? Total return. So I will keep playing the Tilray wheel. Just that's something I want to keep going long term, just to see how that is. But I'm gonna close my Apple positions. I'm gonna sell my shares and close out the leaps. Close out the or I'll let the calls expire worthless. Close out the leaps. Oh, there we go. Tilray, we'll keep going with that. Palantir, I'll still sell covered calls, but I'll wait till a little bit of a pop-up there. Coinbase, it can expire worthless. That's fine with me, which I think it will. The support at 220, but then I'll be done with that, and I'll just play on, I'll just use that same collateral for Tesla. Dropbox, I'm going to get rid of that. I don't really care about Dropbox. Cedar Fair, I own that. I don't mind having a little bit of money into Realty, which they essentially are. They're amusement parks, and the ticker's fun, so I'll keep that. And I got them for cheap pretty early. They pay a dividend. I'm going to keep that. My Gap will go away. My Robinhood will go away. Of course, I'll keep all my Tesla credit spreads. I wasn't meaning to roll these things out today, but of course I didn't. Let's see. UUP was a play on basically inflation or the strength of the dollar. That's pretty much worthless now anyways. I did $100 on it. DraftKings is going to go away. This will be my last put credit spread on Google, my last put credit spread on Roku. And then we have a lot of Teslas here. Let's see what else. I'm screwed on my skills and CHPT will strat. I can only get a few bucks because they drop down so much. I'm supposed to be doing a video with somebody who like pretty much only does the wheel, and maybe you might have to send in, I don't know where they're at. But you might need to do what he calls a rescue mission on those, which is kind of what I'm doing on those Palantirs. But I think you have to wait 30 days before reopening the position. Oh, or it becomes a wash. I guess, yeah, that's why we talked to CPAs, right? I can't remember. There was like, I had $849,000 worth of wash on my account last year. Are you getting rid of coin at 220? I don't own coin. I just had the Coinbase. I had the short leg at 220, so that's it. I don't own any Coinbase, which is why they did bounce off that 220. I think just that 220 is a super solid support. It's probably a good idea to open up a put credit spread if it comes back down that way at all. Charge point. Oh, charge point. I haven't even seen what ChargePoint did. Oh, market's closed, so I can't do anything here. Let me get through these guys again. Hawaiian Airlines, that'll go away. I'll keep selling calls till they're gone. I'll get rid of my Apple Leaps, my Gap Leaps. MGM, I sold this way early. This was going to be part of a wheel, and then it just went super, super far above the money. So I'm going to lose those shares at 27, which is fine. And I guess I could close out my Snapchat position. This is actually pretty good. It's a free debit spread. But these shares, Hood will go bye-bye. Coca-Cola is tough. I ended up using that girl holding it for the thumbnail. She's holding her Coke. I could probably hold that. So I'll probably hold Coca-Cola, but I'm kind of back and forth on that. I don't think it's a bad company. There's dividends. It's solid. But again, what else can I do with $11,000 worth of put credit spreads? Like, I can do a lot more with that. Same thing with Gap, MGM. And then the QYLD and JEPI, kind of same thing there. They're good piggy banks, but could I do a lot more with them? Yes, I'm still kind of on the fence with those. Cedar Fair, I'll have a little bit of realty in there. Tilray will play the wheel on. And I think Clearway Energy, I think that can go away. That'll probably go away. But I'll sell my Airbnb, my Nintendo, my Apple, like $2,000 worth of collateral. I can do so much more with that. And then whatever needs to populate there, those will go bye-bye. And my crypto, I'll keep those. Look at that. 307 Doge, I'm rich. How much are those worth? Oh, not like it's going to populate any faster. Okay. Yeah, so coin, ChargePoint. Yeah, I haven't seen what ChargePoint does, but I just know from like anecdotal evidence, like, man, they're just not being used. And everybody was so hot on those. I wanna actually take a look at their chart. Let's see if Intella Therapeutics. I don't know. Charge point. Oh, that's weird. Maybe it's just Robinhood's really slow. Come on. There we go. I have... Nope. Let me stick that on there. I don't even know what charge point is done. Holy crap, they're at $50. I don't like ChargePoint at all. And maybe I'm saying that late. I know I've said it a few times, but any of those charging station ones, like when I go to those, they're never, ever, ever being used, and they're in the silliest of locations. The basic thing I think about the charging stations is, one, if you own an EV, you're charging at home. And so I own an EV. I don't charge anywhere else unless I'm in a long distance trip. If I'm on a long distance trip, I want to stop at charging stations right along the route. Those charge point ones, they're like in BFE where nobody's going to go. And if you live around there, you've already charged, and Tesla's opened up their network to everybody else. So I know it's probably too late to give that point of view, but I know I've given it before, so that hasn't changed. But that was kind of that whole EV, like everything EV was going to be worth $1 million, I think, for a little while. And I think things like Neo and Xpeng are still up there. Will you mainly be doing only Tesla put credit spreads? Yes. That's probably all I am going to do. I don't want to completely box myself in. Maybe I'll give myself $100 a week, and maybe I'll play some other play YOLO. But yeah, I want to go 100%. Like, all the extra money I want to put into more shares of Tesla. Like, there's so little room in my mind for doubt that is a stock that'll 4x, 5x over time. I don't know any other companies that I think are going to do it. I think they're a very positive company for the world, essentially, and they're growing so huge. I don't see any other company I love like that, and so I'll put it there. I'll exercise my options on Palantir. I'll have 1,000 shares of that, but the rest is just going to go into Tesla, and I'm going to fund that with the Tesla put credit spreads. And that's where I think I should be able to get some kind of accurate expected value out of, let's say we're using $60,000 worth of capital, and what the expected return should be, based on my kind of projected move over time. Yeah, I regret my charge point call option too. Oh, did you buy call options on it? Ouch. You know what I regret is my free share of Blink charging that I got, or whatever it was that I got when I opened up my Robinhood account. It's like I had so many like good free shares that ended up really good. Thoughts on Shiba coin? Dude, so my girlfriend owns a ton of Dogecoin and a ton of Shiba. So she's been feeling very rich over the last couple of days. I think it came back down, but what did she, like 4x? She 4x her money. My personal thought is it's hard to buy because there's just no intrinsic value. I mean, it's almost just as hard for me to buy Doge. It's not so hard for me to buy Ethereum and Bitcoin anymore. And I've held a lot of that for a long time, just the Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I think I have a little bit of Litecoin too from forever ago. But Shiba, like, it's just there's no intrinsic value in any of that stuff. But I'll let my, my girlfriend's like, you need to buy a little bit, and she's like, and then she'll sit there and calculate like, oh, this is I'm gonna have 12 million. It was 12,500,000. Yeah, $12.5 million if it reaches a penny or something. So she goes ham with that stuff. It's not for me. It's not for everybody, and it's kind of funny because anybody who just gets into it is probably going to be way more profitable than I'll ever think of being on most of those things like Shiba or Doge or whatever, because I can't put a lot of money into it just because I know the intrinsic value isn't there. But for somebody else who can kind of blindly buy it, my girlfriend buys it. I mean, she went in 40 grand of Doge, but like when it was at 5 cents, right? Or I think it was like a little under 5 cents or something like that. 40 grand. I couldn't do that. Even if I had $2 million, just cash, not doing anything. There's so many other things I would rather do than that, but like, good for her. If you own some, good for it. I think there was some profit taking last few days too. So I don't think much of a lot of those coins. I can get behind it as soon as they're sort of proven. Either they're being used by the big corporations. Once they're used by the big corporations, then money can be used for lobbying and keeping regulators away from it being regulated out. So yeah, and I don't know how much she stuck into Shiba. She was just pissed that she didn't put more in, like over the last 2 days or something like that. But she bought it. It was probably like 3 months ago now or something like that, 2 or 3 months ago. She was like, "Oh man, I should have stuck my other 5 grand in there." Like, no. And then when it went up the last couple days, I'm like, at least take your initial investment out. You can't get screwed that way. You just can't get screwed. Oh, weird. Okay. I can't invest much into it either, but I believe Shiba will have a decent long-term 2 to 3 years out returns. It might or it might not. Like, why do you think it will? It's my question. Why do you think it will? I don't know how Shiba is useful. And I know I'm all ears, and I'm not like, why do you think it's going to do that? No, I'm like, really, like, what's your thought? And what does a decent long term mean? Is it going to become a tenth of a penny? But my big question always is just like, why? I mean, it only goes up because other people are buying it, but it doesn't have any use, as far as I know. Maybe it's very useful, and buying it's a pain in the butt. It'll probably spike up once Robinhood supports it again, or if they do support it. I don't know if they're planning on it, but if some brokerages, like, it's easy to purchase, of course it will go up. And then because people will be like, I can stick $100 in there or something like that, $50, $10, just in case it goes up to $1. Like, that's always the argument. Like, but what if it goes up to $100, or what if it does go up to a penny? I just don't understand why it could possibly, like, why it would do that. Let's see. Yeah, her positions are insane. I just can't do it. But it's inevitably like on a day where I'll be down. I don't know, a couple days ago, I'll be like, yeah, I'm down $4,000 in this big account that I'm trading. I don't know, with some thought into it, and then she'll just be like, yeah, I made $27,000 today buying this zero intrinsic value thing that I think is insane. Hey, what's up, Heap? I haven't seen you in a while. Using Voyager is really easy to buy and sell. Is that an app? I can't remember which app she used. I actually, she was like, can you please buy some, support me? She's like always big on that. Like she wants me to buy some, and then she feels like it's support, and then she could buy more. So half of it was my fault. She didn't buy more Shiba Inu. But I think I tried, and I don't know, whatever. Like my card said it was fraudulent. Um, so I'll look at that one because she's not a very well. She's like a zero technical person. Like doesn't use a computer. Um, but like her phone is okay. I don't even know how you get money out of that one or like transfer it back. So, um, but I'll look into Voyager. I need to write that down. Oops. There we go. Voyager. And it supported in the US just fine and all that stuff. Cuz that was a thing with some of it, like depends like where you are. Comparing it, okay, honestly I'm comparing it to how other altcoins have gained value over time. I don't think anyone can accurately predict Shiba. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll let her know. The main thing, like the app she was using, it seems like such a pain in the butt. The way you had to connect a card like took a week to do or something like that. Yeah, use it. Okay, cool. I will let her know, and maybe I'll download it, and who knows? I'll buy some Shiba, support her. I'll buy 100 Shiba or something. Maybe $100 worth. Who knows? I don't even know how it ended up today. Is it? And it's like a pretty clean app. Obviously, if you're using it, it's probably pretty clean. Yeah, and it's hard. Like the reason for something to go up because things go up is such a hard argument. I mean, it very well could, and I'm not saying it wouldn't. But regulation could come out, or the realization that there's no value in it. I mean, that could definitely be sweeping, and like what was his name, Mark Cuban's crypto, didn't it go from like $40 to zero like in a day? Oh, pretty much like Coinbase. Where are they based out of? Oh, they're in the US. Okay, awesome. I guess that's what we like to see. Imagine doing put credit spreads on Doge. Hopefully you could just do cash secured puts on them. I don't think Shiba will ever be a penny. I don't either, but you know, it's for me it's like when somebody buys a lotto ticket and is just like, but what if I win the $14 million? That's what it's like for her. So, I mean, maybe that's fun to to hope. And I mean, at least she got in before this last spike up, and I don't know, maybe it went back down to where it's at. At least she got her Dogecoin at 4 or 5 cents or whatever it was. So at least she didn't buy it during like the FOMO stage at whatever it went up to. I don't know how many decimal points there are before Shiba actually has a number. Like, what is it, like 0.00000 whatever, 2 something or 1 something. Yeah, I don't either. But if you would have ever told me, like back when I was using Doge, like I was using it regularly years ago, if you ever told me that that was going to be a penny, I would have never believed you, let alone hit 70 cents or 20 cents. It's just ridiculous. I'm just trying to go to the moon with Elon. Heck yeah. Yep. I haven't even paid attention to how much what he's saying about him really affect the cryptos at all. I don't know. I mean, and I guess it's kind of like everything too. Everybody has their thing that they want to be into. For me, it's just going to be straight up like Tesla, put credit spreads. And that's not to say I don't have other accounts. I have other accounts where I have the responsible thing going on. Or I have my Johnson & Johnson and 3M and stuff I don't give a crap about really, and I put a consistent dollar amount in there every week or twice a week, and that just grows. So that stuff's sitting there. So for my Robinhood, I can do the just straight up Tesla put credit spreads, which is fine. I need to sit. You need to sit down and get more organized with account, with your trading account. I did too. I mean, like thankfully everything's been good. Our last 2 years we've traded in such a dang good market. Like it was hard to screw up. I mean, I guess easier over the past 6 months or 9 months or so, just because things have actually came down a little bit. But for that first, since like the end of 19 through 20, it was like everybody was like, buy this penny stock, and then it would like 3x or 5x or buy any stupid name EV, doesn't really matter. And then it would just, everything was just like mooning. And that's when a lot of people started trading. That's when I started really trading, was during that time. So it was like no matter what you bought, you could buy the biggest piece of garbage and you're making tons of money. Did I make any plays today? Oh God, I was actually meaning to, I meant to get home, get this stream going, go through kind of some changes I wanted to make, and then do those, but my Robinhood obviously wasn't responding enough for me to do that. So the only thing I had on today was I had the automatic closing of the SPY put credit spreads, which closed at $1, and I did roll out 4 or 5 of my put credit spreads that are expiring next Friday, which I meant to do all of them today, but we'll just pick those up on Monday. So that was really it for today. I mean, even this last like little bit, I didn't even pay attention to really what was going on. It looks like we had a nice dive down at the end of the day. It should be good. Let's see, how did the SPY end up? Was it kind of just mimicking that? Then I assume Apple looks just like that. I can't remember who said that. They're like, yeah, Apple just looks like the SPY. It's just cheaper, and it does. Wow, even after hours, big dip. I don't even know if there was any news. Let's see. White House weighs wide-ranging push for crypto oversight. Oh. SEC investigating Archegos for potential market manipulation. I don't even think they have to investigate. I think we could let them know. Good Lord. Anything else? Nothing else really. But Monday I'll put in all my closing orders. Like I said, I'll sell my covered calls. I'm gonna put in like, and if I had made it home in time, I would have put in my closing orders for Airbnb. They would have been closed today. So like I own shares of those. I like Airbnb. I use it, but it's not a company I really care about. So I'll put in all those closing orders on Monday. Actually, I could do it now, I guess. But just Robinhood is being super slow right now, so I don't want to like take a half an hour to put in 10 closing orders. After listening to Sosnoff a lot, of his rising stars come on and have a trading plan, like you said. Yeah, some of them are freaking beautiful too. I just love it. And yeah, some of them have a plan like Karen, Superstar Karen Superstar, whatever her name was. She got me pumped on those like SPX plays too when I first saw her. And then of course you watch a few more episodes and then read what happened to her. That's terrible. You could probably do this for a living if you wanted to. I could. And I'll tell you the hard part is my job is pretty easy. It gets me out of the house. I like it, and I get paid pretty good. So, man, it just sucks. After not having an actual 9 to 5, I get pretty bored. Yeah, it's like you have to do something. And maybe if the world was opened up, that's what I was thinking. Like if the world was opened up and I can go travel and at least do something, I don't know. I need to pick up a new hobby or something. And my only real interests besides traveling or learning some new languages, I think that would be pretty cool. Kind of worked on and off on that through the years. But I would like to get a better handle on Spanish, and I would like to learn Korean. I can read and write Korean, and like I'm pretty okay with Spanish. And I wish I could take advantage of the fact my girlfriend's Vietnamese and learn from her, but I love her, but she's a terrible teacher. And I think she has like a little bit of a speech impediment, just like a little. So like my ears cannot pick up the tones. I cannot hear correctly Vietnamese. So it just doesn't work out. So I know some like the words from traveling over there. I know like my foods and what some stores are and stuff, but speaking it's just tough, I think. Anyways, for a native English speaker. And yeah, so maybe if I travel, I could quit. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna probably work maximum maybe 3-4 more years or something like that. Try something else. I also have an Amazon store that I run. Trading's been pretty good to me, and if I really wanted to, I really could live off of trading. I really could have, but adding my regular job to it on top of trading that I could do semi-passively, especially with a plan where it's more like ABC cut and dry, then why not double up the income for 4 or 5 years and then, I mean, that's just much better. Double it up for a few years, put more into investing, and then it's more of a cushion long term. What happened to her? Yeah, look her up. She got into some kind of trouble. I can't remember what the whole story was, but yeah, just look her up, and I can't remember if it's like fraud or I don't even know if she still has the hedge fund that she had anymore. I can't remember. But nothing good. She ended up like I don't know if she was like fake or what. It's been a while. It's been like a couple years since I watched the video on her. I only know one other language besides English. But how much coit do you think you would need to make a living off of just put? How much collateral do you think you would need to make a living off of just put credit spreads comfortably? I don't know. It depends what comfort is too. Like, there's definitely, like, I don't have to live in the U.S. I can go live somewhere cheaper for sure that I think I even like more. But that's a good question. So I will have that answer once I get rid of all my positions that I don't want, all my underlyings, figure out what my collateral was. I'm going to calculate what I'm going to calculate an expected value on those returns, and then I'll be able to tell you without a doubt. How would I calculate it? You just calculate where, like, basically your premium to collateral ratio, and there's definitely some guessing involved. You can't get it 100%, but you could figure out an average of what you expect to get, and that's where you can make your best educated guess, right? You can say I can make this at a 90% probability of profit or somewhere along those lines. So nothing's going to be perfect because you can't predict exactly what the market's going to do. It's like predicting, we probably make an average of 8 to 10% holding SPY with the dividends reinvested, but what that actually is year to year, we don't know. And they're still put credit spreads alone are going to present their own risk in the fact that you can lose 100% of the collateral. I mean, Tesla could go to $300. I don't think so, and not in my mind, but it could. Do you think you're eventually going to start going away from doing primarily spreads on Tesla and move on to different stocks as the price of it rises to over 1,000 down the road? No, I don't think so, because it depends how fast it rises. So I think our last visit to $700-800 was overpriced. And if you just go find, like, if you go find a random video from when it's up there, I'll say it when I'm opening up a put credit spread. I'm like, this is scary territory. This is scary territory. Now it's not scary for me, like, at all. Now I think we're about correct. The fact that what did we have? We had a drop of what? We went from closing at 790 down even after this huge drop at the last minute to, like, we dropped $5, right? $5, $6, $7, $8 after investors after that investors meeting. And if you look at the last few years where they would have an event, and if they didn't come out with, oh, by the way, here's the new Roadster on sale tomorrow, if they didn't come up with something crazy, the stock would just plummet. I did expect a sell-off today. I expected I actually expected this. I didn't expect it to happen like it did, but in hindsight, this makes sense. Like a run up into the investor or the shareholders meeting. But people who have been paying attention to Tesla and what Elon's been saying, he's just been straightforward. There's been no tricks up Tesla's sleeves for a while. And so the people who are aware of that probably realize there's not going to be something special coming out, and then sold out for a profit. And then after the people who were not holding Tesla or just not long-term shareholders, after they did not make a crazy announcement, I mean, you can see the sell-off even when we're getting into the investors or the shareholders meeting after hours, and that's what happened today. I mean, that's pretty much been the cycle. We could definitely drop over the next week, but now we're running into earnings, which is going to be pretty soon. Depends. Let's see. So no, I don't think I will probably deviate from Tesla over the near term, and I don't know. I don't have another company that I want to play it on. If I ever find one, I'll be happy to split 50-50 between the two underlyings, but there's just not another one that hits me like Tesla, like at all. I don't have as much confidence in any other company, and that's why I'm going to get more heavily weighted into it. Depends how much you need to live. Yep, you're right. I also kind of want to just go like out of the country, like where you need literally $500 a month to live or something, $500-600, $1,000, you're living like a king. Yeah, I'm saying you could calculate it weekly or monthly if you wanted $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Yeah, even here. I mean, well, I live in Seattle area, so it's expensive here. Everything's expensive, but I also could probably cut down on a few things, which would be fine. Where do you think are some of your cool places to live besides the U.S., in your opinion? I think, well, places that are cheap. I like my favorite place so far has been Vietnam that I've really liked, but I want to explore some other places. I really want to visit Colombia and the DR. Those are a couple of them, but anywhere, like I've loved Southeast Asia from the places I've visited, and I specifically like, there's a city called Da Nang, and I love that city. Like I could retire in Da Nang in Vietnam, Philippines too. I like it there. Yeah, Thailand I think would be awesome. I mean, I guess you're just right across the street. California's expensive too. It's ridiculous. I know. You want to live in the Keys? You think that I just want to get out more. Like I just want some stuff to open up. Still, Vietnam and Thailand still have their 2-week quarantine though to even go over there right now. Plus, it's probably super probably super closed down and not nearly as fun. I think the recent lawsuit is BS. Seems crazy they would be racist. Yeah, I mean, no, I think the amount awarded was BS, but I don't know. It's like one of those things. People want to people want to be super sensitive about it. Some people are. I mean, I don't know how I could get my feelings hurt $137 million worth. Like, you can sit there and call me names for 2 years or whatever. And I think it was just like words at the end of the day. I don't know. It's crazy place that we live in. People are very, very sensitive about that. And like, I don't know. I get both sides of it. I get both sides of it. I don't think Tesla's racist by any means. I don't think any company, like a company generally is not good or bad. It's usually the individuals or employees or something. Like some people will use certain words, some people won't, and that's it. I don't and California is pretty dang mixed. I, I mean, there's places that aren't, but like up here in Seattle, like I feel like I grew up so mixed. It would be hard to be racist up here. But I know other people, like everybody has their individual experiences, whatever their individual experiences were, or whatever they were told. Somebody was told from people they respect or their groups or their parents that really could, put some stuff into their head that wasn't put into my head as a kid. So, I mean, without stepping into their shoes or seeing what's in their heart, I don't know what made them that way. It just sucks. Like, I legit feel bad for people who are racist because you lose out on so much. Like, you lose out on huge chunks of the populations. Like, and most people are like nice. You meet out on missing them. You miss out on friends. You miss out on food. You miss out on culture. You miss out on learning. It's just like you just lose by being racist. Like, there's like no positivity. There's no positive there. It like legit sucks for them. It's like someone that steals from you. I feel bad for the person that steals from you. They're in such a crappy place that they had to steal your crap. Like, I had 2 pairs of shoes stolen. Like, who's the person that is so broke and has no other option in life but to go into my backyard and steal boots and shoes off the back of my porch? Like, they're in such a crappy position that that's how they have to get shoes, or they need that money, or they're addicted to drugs. Like, it's terrible. It's just like all bad on them. I've never really visited. Oh wait, let's see. For Tesla's large pullbacks, that would have made a credit spread say 1 month out 30 to 75 puts out of the money. Were the catalyst for them obviously going to cause them? Let me see if I'm reading this correctly. Okay, for Tesla's large pullbacks, that would have made credit spreads say 1 month out 30 to. I don't think I understand that. Like when we had drops, were they obvious that the drops were going to happen? If that's what you're asking, I don't understand it. I've never really visited Asia. I really want to. I'm pretty familiar with Europe. Yeah, the nice thing about like Vietnam and Thailand, you don't need money. Or Philippines, like, you just don't need money. The plane ticket, if you have a plane ticket, a couple grand, like, that's it. It's not like, it's cheaper for me to go to Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, something like that, than it would be for me to probably take a trip to Disneyland or Disney World in the US. It's just all about your plane ticket. And last time I went there, I think it was $1,200. Your lodging legit is like $22, $24, $20, something like that. They don't have Uber over there. They have Grab, which is like you pay for rides that are, I don't know, $1. Like, you get all these charges on your card, and they're funny. They'll be like 24 cents or something like that, or 50 cents, like with a tip. So super cheap. Food is super cheap. Like, you eat a meal for $1, $2. coffee's 75 cents. And you don't really need to have an itinerary, because once you go into a whole new culture, it's just as interesting watching people do daily stuff and eating and seeing that stuff than going to Disneyland. Like, that's more interesting to me. And everybody's so nice, so friendly. I would just totally do it. The Philippines is super dope and cheap. A lot of retirees there, and the best part is they speak English everywhere there. Yeah, and that's why they're used for a lot of call centers around the Philippines, because their English is super good. I'm not sure if he would ever make 137 million in his lifetime, and he's just a contractor. Yeah, I know. It's just an insane amount. I mean, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's making a statement. I don't know. During the shareholders meeting, there was a lot of push to look internally about that kind of stuff. But it's just like, it's like one or two idiots. I don't know. And probably what happened, I have no idea about the details of it, but probably a lot of people are joking. I mean, if you have a group of friends, like, you guys can joke with each other, joke about each other's colors, nationalities, and it's just fine, like, within that group. And maybe you was like, haha, and then would tell a supervisor about it. Maybe deep down he was like, it just actually hurt. I don't know. I don't know. It's funny. Like, my girlfriend can give me crap about white stuff. I can give her crap about Asian stuff. Hey, like, looks like you really parked like an Asian today. And it's nothing other than giving her crap. And yeah. And then she can be like, you need help with those chopsticks? Are you sure you want a fork, sir? Could you do a video one day on your Amazon stores and some details about that? I could, if it's something you're interested in. It's very boring to me now, and it's pretty much all automated. I have actually the girls that work for me are all in the Philippines, 4 of them that do 99% of it now. But if you ever, I'm sure you've seen some advertisements for Amazon FBA. That's basically all it is. And I just, like, went through the process, didn't pay for a course or anything like that. Just learned it, started small, grew it up, and now it's just its own thing. Don't make a ton of money, but enough. No, probably not live on it. Not live on it here, but live on it. I could live on it somewhere else. I think the one thing that keeps people from moving to other places is health costs and benefits. Yeah, I know. Like, I think the health insurance isn't too bad overseas. Oh, points. Okay, let me go read. Okay, for Tesla's large pullbacks, let's say 1 month out, 30 to 75 points out of the money. Were there catalysts for them? Obviously going to cause them. I still don't understand. I still don't exactly get that. But if you're asking about catalysts for the drops, some of them, yeah. So some of them we kind of like learned over time, which was Tesla had an event and they didn't announce something ridiculous. Those were the obvious ones. But the big pullback, I think from 8,900, that wasn't as obvious. That wasn't obvious to me. Except for the fact it seemed overbought to me. I mean, it just went up ridiculously. But one of the problems I have is I can see in my mind where the 4 months out, 1 year, like, or not 4 months, 4 years, 10 years. And so to me, $900 is still a good deal. Like, right now, whatever it is, $785 is a fantastic deal. Like, buy it. Like, if you did nothing else and just bought it, and then when it came to retire, like, I don't know, get 200 shares of it, and then start selling them off share by share for $4,000, $5,000 a month as you need them. Like, that's easy. can't remember if I asked you, but did you go to school for sales or did you end up moving up through the experience? I moved up through the experience. Nope, no schooling. I did a couple little classes here and there. Initially, I really, actually, it's kind of funny the way I did it. So I worked in the industry that I sell now for, and I was super uncomfortable talking to people, especially strangers. And so when I decided I wanted to go do that, I forced myself to go talk to people in public, which made me like just ridiculously like uncomfortable. Like I was super shy, not outgoing at all. And then so I just forced myself to do it, kind of like I forced myself to do these live streams. When I first was doing them, I was like just super uncomfortable. Like, how can I be comfortable in front of a camera talking to random people that I can't see? But nope, no schooling or anything. And thankfully, I've worked in industries where the product was something somebody needed, and it was more like I'm more of a problem solver aspect than selling like something you don't necessarily need, like an upgrade. I don't know, like a warranty salesperson or a gym membership. I'm not pushing anything anybody doesn't need, so that makes it easier. But yeah, no school, nothing special. Just ended up knowing the industry, and there we go. Let's see. How are you? I'm doing well. It's Friday. Got all my work done. Did you start off with a big account or did you add on to it slowly? I started that account off with $575 and that's it. And I've taken out $55,000 out of it. What kind of sales do I do? Insulation. So like home weatherization. Nothing like joining a live stream while on the toilet. Man, I know. Could you imagine living 20 years ago? Like, what would you do? Can you even go to the bathroom without your phone anymore? Like, dude, what am I going to do? Now the question is, how much money have you made on the toilet? Have you traded while you're on the toilet? And how much money have you made while taking a crap? One of my goals several years ago was to make money while I was sitting on the beach somewhere, and I achieved that with my Amazon store and sitting on the beach in Vietnam. I was like, look, I gotta see, I made money today. It was profitable, and that was actually when I first started the business. Just sitting there, and I was just checking in on the on my seller's account, and yeah, that was super cool. I was like, all right, made that goal. That's just good skill. Let's see. That's good. That's good skill to have. Seems like talking to people isn't scary after putting yourself through it. Yeah, it absolutely isn't. But man, like I was an introvert. I just always worked alone, and I didn't like it. Like it was scary. My ex, who I was with at the time, didn't like it at all. I was. Because I went and changed, like, because I used to, like, we'd go somewhere and I would just be just with her pretty much, and then I changed because I was forcing myself to go talk to anybody and everybody, and I'd be talking to them all, and she didn't like that at all. She's like, you've changed. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, so I don't have to be like someone doing labor for the rest of my life, because that sucks. I think that should be its own YouTube channel. Yeah, what? Toilet trades? Trading off the toilet with the coffee in the hand? Yes. I love that term, toilet trades. Yeah, I don't know if I've traded on the toilet in a long time, because usually I'm just outside. I've traded on autopilot, so I've made some autopilot trades. 100% for sure. And I was in somebody's house today. They were finishing up a Zoom meeting. I did trade. That's when I did roll out the put credit spreads that I did. She's like, I'm so sorry. It's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, that's all right. This isn't my primary source of income. Waiting for you. 20K made while on the toilet. Nice. Is Amazon FBA still worth getting into? I don't know, because I didn't have to start. So I think it is, but I think it's worth doing it if you want to put the effort. So it's very similar with trading. Like if you put the effort into trading, the time, you have to put some money into it, and you keep at it, you can do well. And it's the same thing with FBA. Like it's time, it's money, it is a lot of work initially, but once you have it going, it's going. And one of the big hurdles for Amazon FBA is getting like just time and metrics underneath your belt, because initially you will not be allowed to sell in a lot of categories. So once your account has been around for 6 months, a year, you get qualified in more and more categories. So that's the hard part. Like you'll try to do, like what I did initially was just some arbitrage. Like I can go find something at the store and then put it on Amazon and make a little bit of profit there. But initially you're really isolated to a few different kind of things. Like now I can do like supplements, I can do medications, I can do medical devices, I can do pesticides, like, and then you go through qualifications for that. Like, so pesticides, and they oddly qualify a lot of products wrong, which is why I initially had to go through it. But some of them you have to take like tests, you have to do, I mean, it's like basically going through a little course on selling anything, but it's through Amazon. They have a video, you learn, you have to answer questions, pass the test with a 90% or 80% or whatever. And then you're qualified to sell it. So a year down the road, year and a half, then you have a lot more width. But it's work. Like initially, like I packed a ton of crap. That sucked. I mean, it didn't suck. It was good because I put my hands on the stuff. I understood how it worked. Now I have a place in Oregon, so all my inventory just gets sent to them, and they package it and ship to Amazon. So I mean, I used to have, actually probably in the closet behind me, I probably have like shipping scales and tapes and bubble wraps and all that crap. So I used to do all that stuff manually, which sucked, like looking back on it. And now it's easy. So if you're willing to put the work in on the front end, 100%. But I don't know, trading, you don't have any inventory to manage, any employees, and you will need, if you want to automate it somewhat, you will need like some assistants or some people working for you. So depends how much you want to manage people too. I don't enjoy it, and thankfully I found, I mean, I call her my office manager, even though we don't really have an office, but she kind of takes care of the other girls, and so I only need to deal with her, and then she can deal with the other things. And she has a lot of free reign and access to a lot of my accounts. So now it's good. But going through the several people to find that sucked. So worth it long run? Yep. A James Brown. Oh, I just read that. I feel like Biden and the Dems don't like Tesla. You know, I'm getting more and more irritated about that. Today I was irritated. Another speech like talking about everything. We need to make EVs, we need to make batteries, and they need to be made here. It's like Tesla is the most American auto manufacturer there is, period. They're the ones that got the whole push going. They're the impetus for the whole EV thing. Like everything, that guy has to be just bought and paid for by the unions, by Ford and GM. If that doesn't tell you that, because you could not, there's no way you could talk about electric vehicles. Not any ordinary person could not talk about EVs without mentioning Tesla. Like, you have to. Even Volkswagen does. For some reason, he can't. Let's see. You might have to take that idea. I opened up a few credit spreads today. Awesome. Next week, I'm going for more to sell plasma for more money for the trades. Oh, yeah. Is that who is that does that? Mikey Millions. What's his name? I like his videos. It's like super awesome. Yeah, they weren't even invited to that EVD event. Like, how? It's just nuts. That's politics, though, I guess. I guess we have to live with it. It's just like give the company a little credit. Like, you have to. How much money did we forgive? God, I don't know. I don't know. But even the people that didn't go to it's great because the people that didn't go to school, who started working early, have to pay for the people who did. I don't know. You can only get so much into politics before you get frustrated so much. Yeah, I don't know what the dollar amount was. I bet Biden doesn't know what a put credit spread is. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that guy knows. And I've only seen the iteration of Biden since he became president. Like, I've seen some of his old speeches where he was, where, I don't know, he wasn't, I mean, he seems like mentally diminished compared to, no matter what you think, if you look at his speech today and you look at his speech, I know there's people that love him, but if you look at him talk 10 years ago, you can see he's mentally diminished over the last 10 years, 20 years. I don't know. He probably used to know what it is, maybe forgot. What is better, selling weekly credit spreads or monthly? Technically, monthly is like 4 to 6 weeks out. Just that way you have more time to manage it. Because if everything does move against you and far against you, if you're on a weekly, you're not going to have enough extrinsic value to where you can roll it out. So if it's still a month out, it moves against you, you're still going to have enough extrinsic value to where you could roll it out to a certain point or close it even if you wanted to. It just gives you so much more leeway. I've never been into politics. I haven't until last, really heavily, actually since I started trading more and seeing how what is done in politics actually affects the market, which is, all of our pocketbooks. Yeah, it's crazy to think, it's crazy to think how much I watch it now, and how important those speeches are relative to the market. But we didn't have a lot to do during the shutdown too, so there was that. Very polarizing. Very, very polarizing. I think it's got to be more polarizing than religion or Apple versus Android. I started laddering the last 2-3 weeks. It's a really good idea. By laddering, you just mean kind of keeping 2 or 3 weeks out and then rolling what's expiring in a week out another 3 weeks. Oh, but seller trades, was that plasma thing? Was that something that you do? I keep getting advertisings for plasma, $1,200 or something like that. It's probably a good idea to do, right? It's helpful for everybody. God, I should do it. I'm just so damn scared of needles. But I guess if somebody, I should put it in perspective. If somebody really needs my blood plasma, them surviving is probably more important than me going through whatever pain it is. I don't know how it is. How bad is it? I'm super scared of needles. I'll sweat when I'm getting a flu shot. I'll just start sweating a little bit. I'll be oh, Is it hot? Even though my last few shots I get, or even like the vaccine, you don't even feel them. But plasma, isn't it? Like it's got to be a pretty big needle. Maybe I'll do it. Be a good example. Go donate it somewhere. Oh, you haven't started yet, but looking into it. All right, report back. I wonder if you can bring. I wonder if you could bring like a camera. Can you record the whole thing? Can you live stream it? Maybe I should like live stream it. It's so good. Like my mom did it like all the time. Not for any money or whatever. It was just like the right thing to do. My mom was a emergency room nurse, so obviously they used a lot of blood. I lost my job in August, so extra money and helps people, so why not? Yeah, the only reason I say why not is because I'm a wiener when it comes to pain. That's it. But yeah, why not? What did you do? What industry were you in? And where do you live? Like what part of the country? Dang, it's been an hour and I didn't even make any of my trades today. How do we end up on the day? Lost $4,000. Oh no. You guys need to subscribe to my OnlyFans. Please, quick. Let's see. So down 4,000 today. Up exactly 4,000 for the week. Almost. Like the same amount we lost today. So we split it. Let's see how we doing on the month. Only 3,000 for the entire month. I swear that showed something different before. Huh. Oh wait, did it just change? No. And for the quarter, up 72,000. So nice. We'll take the quarter over anything else. Midwest software development. Do you like work based, like contract based? I thought like software development, like isn't that like super in demand or what? Or I'm wondering when AI is going to take over a lot of the software development. Actually, that's pretty surprising. I thought you guys were just like I thought anybody was willing to give you 150 grand, 180 grand just to start. Like people moved from all over the country over here to go work for Amazon. Well, I guess what I have Microsoft, Amazon, Google all around me where I live. That's why it's so expensive to live here. I like full time. And actually, one of my good friends, he was doing it. I don't feel like he made a lot, but I don't know. I didn't actually ask him about the dollar amount. We must just have been pumped up during that time. I'm excited for next couple weeks though. Earnings coming up for Tesla. I'm excited to get my account in order. This is pretty ridiculous looking, right? Like with that much diversity, how do you make money? That's just too much. What was that? Tesla big sellout. Oh no, Robinhood took a big dump at the end of the day. Ooh. What happened to Robinhood? $1.73 after hours? Holy crap. You have a good weekend too. Good to see you. I know it's been a few weeks. Stay out of the emergency room or whatever other emergencies keep you away from trading. Yeah, there's a disconnect between employers hiring and those wanting to get hired. The coast states is higher salaries. Good Lord, what did happen here, guys? What the hell? 4%. Is there news on Robinhood? Actually, I'm curious now. Would have been rich if it wasn't for those meddling kids. Okay. Robinhood Markets Inc. files acceleration request for resale registration statement. Robinhood says tranche 1 note investors will keep 50% of conversion shares locked up until 28th day after resale declared effective. Jeez. Yeah, but relative to the SPY, like that wasn't. I think the SPY that does not match up with this. That is a huge dip. Good Lord. Well, it looks like my $43 call, covered call, is pretty damn safe. I think I sold that. Yeah, I'm just gonna let my hood shares go away. I use it all the time, so I don't mind owning it, but I would just, I mean, that's $4,000. I could sell $4,000 worth of put credit spreads. That's all I keep thinking about. And I don't think Robinhood is going to 4x. I think Tesla is going to 4x. I'm just done. Just done carrying all those underlying positions that I don't really care about. So it should make it cleaner. Let's see. Oh. I love, it's so funny when you make comments on YouTube videos and then somebody else comments on them like 3 or 4 months later. Like, what? I actually have most you know, like most comments you get a couple responses. I have one that I made to this huge video that's, it's like a conversation that's three or 400 long now, but I guess it was a pretty controversial video. So yeah, Monday will probably be good. I don't really know what that means or how to interpret it. I'll probably read it later, or not. Maybe I'll just continue to sell my calls until the shares go away, and that's fine. And then I will stick it in Tesla, because eventually that's all I want to do. So put credit spreads and buy more Tesla, and then I'm good to go. That's it. That's all I really need. So I'm gonna get going though. Happy Friday to you guys. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know if I'm gonna live stream tomorrow since we did today. Maybe I will. I don't know if there's anything else to go over or anything like that, but love you guys. Hope we all make a lot of money next week. I don't know what the I don't know what we're looking forward to next week. I feel like the market's been pretty boring, kind of stagnant overall. So at least our put credit spreads are doing well. So alrighty. Have a great weekend. Love you guys, and we'll see you later.